It was summertime and colleges went on hold. Ron, along with his friends Jane, Maury, and Adam, had just finished their final year exams and planned a beach vacation to chill and relax at summer's end. It was a fun plan, and they wanted to do something adventurous this time. They started to locate a good place, and soon discovered an uninhabited farmhouse near the riverside. It was about 5 kilometers away from where they lived, and the amazing part was the owner of the house was away for a long time without anyone to take care of it. This meant they could use the house without paying a penny. They thought what an amazing plan they had made and how clever they were. Well, it already turned 6 p.m., and with the ongoing plan they made, the farmhouse wasn't that far away, so they decided to leave ASAP without sparing a moment. They ran towards their house, packed their luggage, placing necessary things into the car, and set off on the trip. By the time they reached the farmhouse, it was already midnight. But as there was nobody to control their actions, and since they were here to have fun, they kept their stuff in the house and straight away ran to the beach. There was nobody on the beach except the 4 of them. They were very excited to be there. As they walked down the beach, it felt like they had entered a different planet. Everything seemed so mesmerizing. The sand felt cool on their feet. It was brown and beautiful, and the sea water seemed to glitter in the moonlight. Anyway, they made a bonfire in the sand and sat around it. They even ate some snacks and started drinking cans of soda to chill. They were all engaged in enjoying and having fun until Adam came up with nasty talks. The guys wanted to scare the girls. Adam started to tell Jane and Maury about a horror story he heard when he was a kid. He somewhat believed it was a true story that happened to him too. He just made up a story to scare the girls. He came up with the story of Bloody Mary, but everyone had heard about this story in their childhood. It was said that if at midnight you call Bloody Mary 3 times in front of a mirror, she arrives with a dead baby in her hand. Well, they were grown up now, and why would they believe something told when they were kids? Maybe it was just to fool them. The girls made fun of Adam and did not believe his foolish talk. To challenge his claim, Jane removed a small mirror from her clutch, placed it in front of her face, and said it thrice. "Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, please come with your dead baby, Bloody Mary." There was silence all over. All 3 friends stared at Jane's dare, then everyone burst into laughter. They made fun of the Bloody Mary conspiracy, but abruptly something strange happened. They saw something crooked in the midair and could not believe their eyes. It was a woman who passed them through the sky. But how could that be possible, they thought? As it was dark, they assumed it was their imagination or maybe a big bird flying in the sky. But again, a few minutes later, they saw something in the midair. This time it was an unidentified object. They understood something weird was happening around them. Soon after, they heard a loud cry coming from the water. After Jane's call to Bloody Mary, there was something creepy about the place that everyone became conscious of, but nobody said anything for certain. The place gave a much weirder feeling now. It was too cold and too quiet to be normal. It had turned into a scary, isolated beach. Adam and Ron decided to look out for the voice, thinking maybe somebody might need help. They made up their mind to recon the beach. As they were walking along the water, they heard a bizarre noise coming from it. At first, they thought it was an animal or a mammal, but soon they heard the noise again, clearer this time. It wasn't an animal. A crystal clear voice seemed to call somebody's name. Adam decided to go near the water and look for the voice, maybe someone drowning, but as he was about to step into the water, Jane called them from behind. As they couldn't find anything, they went back to the bonfire and soon after went back to the farmhouse to sleep. It was almost 3 a.m. when Jane suddenly got up from her sleep. She felt something peculiar happening inside the room, like something moved by her legs. She couldn't understand it, and went straight to the washroom to get fresh. There, she stood in front of the mirror looking at her face. It seemed different. She noticed some weird dullness and wooziness on her face. It had turned dark and gloomy. She thought she might be sleepy, so that's why she saw things on her face. She decided to go back to sleep. She moved from the washroom but soon noticed her reflection in the mirror still as if she was standing in front of it. How could that be possible? She was at the door of the washroom. How could her reflection be seen in the mirror, as if she was still in front of it. It was petrifying. Jane got startled, and all of a sudden, the reflection in the mirror looked at Jane and gave her a wicked smile. Jane was shocked and ran from the washroom, but the doors shut on her face, trapping her inside. She couldn't believe what was happening and screamed in fear, waking everyone in the house. Then the reflection of Jane in the mirror vanished into thin air. She felt someone standing behind her. She turned around, and there she was, Bloody Mary, with her dead baby in her hands. She was standing right in front of Jane. Jane was numb with fear and fainted. All three friends came running near the washroom after hearing Jane's cry. They tried to get in, but the door was locked from inside. The only option was to break the door. The boys banged it hard, and it broke open, revealing Jane lying on the floor. They took her to the bed and waited for her to regain consciousness. Jane came to and told them about the incident in the washroom, but the three of them made fun of her, saying she couldn't fool them. They suggested she think of something unique next time if she wanted to trick them. Jane knew what had happened. She knew it was Bloody Mary. As they were chatting, the mirror on the wall fell and broke into pieces, grabbing everyone's attention. Adam went to it and saw a reflection of an old, dull woman in the broken pieces. It was Bloody Mary standing behind him. He turned around and screamed in fear. Bloody Mary screamed too, her black bloody tongue reaching Adam's face and smashing him against the wall. Adam fell motionless to the ground, gone. Now it was the turn of the three left in the room. They tried to escape, but the door slammed shut. Bloody Mary looked at Ron and grabbed his neck with her black, long nails, lifting him in the air. She twisted his neck so hard the sound of broken bones was clear. Ron was no longer alive, his eyes turned back and legs hanging limp. The girls screamed in fear. Maury begged Bloody Mary to spare her, claiming it was Jane who called her out and should be punished. But Bloody Mary wasn't in the mood for excuses. When Jane called her with her dead baby, everyone laughed and made fun of her. She wouldn't stand for it, and nobody would be spared. Bloody Mary said she wouldn't leave anyone alive. It would be their end. While Bloody Mary was talking to Maury, Jane jumped out of the window and ran into the woods to escape. She thought Bloody Mary wouldn't find her there. She headed towards the main road to find help when she heard a loud, painful cry from the farmhouse. It was Maury. Jane understood she too had been killed by Bloody Mary, and now it was her turn. She had to do something quick or she'd be dead. She ran as fast as she could and reached the main road. Soon she noticed someone coming towards her from the corner of her eye. It was Bloody Mary. She ran towards the road and saw a car passing by. She called out for help and almost reached it when Bloody Mary pushed her hard towards the car, resulting in an accident. Jane lay on the road, blood spreading all over, her eyes wide open towards the sky. The revenge was taken. You think you can call Bloody Mary and make fun of her, and you'll be spared? How stupid of you to think that.